Should Andrew face a police investigation? Your calls now on that. He was, of course, known as Prince Andrew until Buckingham Palace announced last night that he will be stripped of that title. He's also just now been struck off the peerage role, effectively meaning that he's officially lost his Duke of York title as well. Now, the family of Virginia Giuffre, the woman who accused Andrew of sexual abuse before she took her own life earlier this year, said that she would be celebrating this news. But her brother, Sky Roberts, told BBC's Newsnight that they want things to go further.
It's not enough. It's not enough. We have to have some sort of investigation that goes further into this. I mean, he's still walking around a free man. I commend the king. I think he's doing an amazing job as a world leader, setting a precedent. But we need to take it one more step further. He needs to be behind bars.
Well, of course, Andrew continues to deny all the allegations Virginia Giuffre made against him, which include sexually abusing her 3 times when she was 17. There are also reports that Andrew handed confidential information about Giuffre to his police bodyguard so he could dig up information to use against her, but he has not commented on these claims. So, Ava, what do you think? Is this a police matter now?
Yeah, absolutely it is. I think it has been a police matter from the very start. You know, it's all very well and good for Andrew to deny that he ever met Virginia Giuffre. I think the public aren't stupid and they've seen that there has been a donation made off the back of this alleged meeting. We also do know that he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein through various photos and various correspondence that has been released. You know, if he really is the common man now and he's not protected by the monarchy, he doesn't have the protection of being a prince, then he needs to go to court and have his day in court the same way that I would be expected to if some of these allegations have been raised around me.
Do you agree with that?
No, I don't, actually.
Why not?
Well, look, I mean, you could say at the moment he's almost under house arrest. I mean, if the outcome is for him to be in some sort of prison, well, his life is a prison now. And for my biggest concern
He's living in a farmhouse in Sandringham. I'll take that prison. Okay.
My greatest concern is the massive damage to the monarchy. In terms of what they now need to do in rebuilding credibility with the monarchy is a big job. And I would like to sort of park it and say, right, give them a chance to win back the confidence from the public.
But can you do that if it hasn't really been fully sort of sorted or fully finished in the public's eyes?
But when we say sorted, what is there to be sorted?
Well, look, if he's an innocent man, then a court will find him innocent.
But innocent of what? Because the complexity around this, because it's sort of different countries, different territories. Unfortunately, the victim is no longer alive. The complexity behind it means that because we spend years and years, and it's going to be destructive on the monarchy.
But Wilfred, though, if we are to take the fact that the monarchy has acted, and has acted pretty strongly because of public sentiment, that public sentiment is still quite strong. Savanta did some polling. 69% of people are saying that losing titles is inadequate. 77% say that he should be investigated, should face criminal charges. So it feels like the public are not really getting stuck on the fact that he, up until a few hours ago, still officially held the Duke of York title. Now he's been stripped of the Prince's title. He's going to be moving out of Windsor and going to Sandringham. It feels that people are saying, look, there is something to investigate here. And until that is done, justice has not been served. Do you get that same feeling that perhaps actually all this doesn't really matter?
Well, I mean, look, I'm not a monarchist. I've never been a royalist. I would say that to be completely clear, I am a Republican. However, I can imagine a world where their soft power is valuable and they do need to rebuild their rapport with the public. And I think the only way that they do that is if they have a clean break from Andrew. I mean, you're looking at the US Congress right now. There's a few changes that need to happen in the US for this to continue. But it looks like he may be summoned to give evidence to the US Congress. I mean, how extraordinarily embarrassing is that? Would you not rather this is seen in a UK court than another country has to show us up on the world stage?
And just to add to some of that polling, support for the monarchy dropped to 46%, below 50%. So it is taking a hit. So perhaps the only way, as you were saying, Wilfred, that the monarchy needs to recover from this is for some sort of justice to be seen to be done. And losing titles, according to the public, is just not going to hack it.
But a court case is impossible. Because how could you go into court and it be seen to be fair when there's so much commentary, there's so much press involvement? So, if we want to be, if we want to be fair to if you're saying, look, this is an allegation, okay, but out there, so many people are already saying he's guilty. So how, in God's name, if you go to court, you're going to be able to have a fair trial? It just seems to be a total waste of time.
Okay. All right, let's pause there and let's speak to the former BBC royal correspondent, Jennie Bond. Jennie, thanks for joining us. Jennie, it would be unusual for a royal to be investigated over something like this. Has it happened before? Do we have precedent?
Well, not about sexual abuse, but there have been occasions when members of the royal family have been in court. About 20 years ago, the Princess Royal was in court because her dog had killed another dog or bitten another dog, quite a minor offence, but she was in court. Of course, it would be extremely unusual. I have to say that as a prince, which he was, Andrew had no special protection. There were no special measures that meant that he couldn't be dragged before a court. The fact of the matter is that he hasn't been charged with anything. There is a police investigation going on, as you've alluded to, and that is about whether or not he used his bodyguard. He asked his personal protection officer to dig up dirt on Virginia Giuffre. That is an ongoing investigation. But I think, as Wilfred said, a court case, if it came to it, would be extremely difficult, not only because poor Virginia Giuffre took her own life back in April. So it may be that any charges would be very hard to prove. But he's not been charged with anything and he's denied all the accusations. That's where we are.
Jennie, some people have been saying, look, particularly the situation that Andrew finds himself now, he's lost his titles, he's going to be moving to the Sandringham estate. Some people are urging him to come forward and actually, help with investigations. He must have information about other people that he came across when he was visiting Jeffrey Epstein. People have said, look, he could use this to actually step forward and be of some use and actually help in the issues that Virginia Giuffre was raising, particularly in her memoirs. Do you think there's any chance of that happening?
Well, I think that is a good point, and it was made very clearly by Amy Wallace, the co-writer of Virginia Giuffre's memoir. She said last week, why doesn't he just do that? He was there at the mansion, Epstein's mansion. He was on the island, he was in the plane. He must have seen things. He can continue to protest his innocence, but say, this is what I saw. Is it of any help? That would be a good move, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think we will now see Andrew completely go to ground, and we will not see him in public for a very, very long time.
Describe to us what you think is up next for Andrew. We know he's going to be moving from Windsor to Sandringham. Is that it? Does he never leave the estate? I mean, what can we expect?
Well, I don't know. He's going to have to get used to being called Mr. Mountbatten Windsor. He is used to a very luxurious lifestyle. I don't know, can he cook? Will he have a cook? I don't know. This is all up for grabs. But I mean, Charles is his brother, and he's not a ruthless man, but this has been a ruthless decision. But he has extended some mercy to his brother in that he is going to fund him privately, as you say, on the Sandringham estate. But I don't think we're going to see him being at any family gatherings, though how can you ban your brother from going to a family funeral, for example? But I think Andrew himself, one would hope, will want to take a low profile. But I think what is important here is that the King and the Queen, who was part of this statement issued by the Palace last night, the King and the Queen want the focus to be on those who have been abused, any form of abuse. That is where they say their sympathies have been in the past and remain. And that is a very significant statement.
Jennie, thank you for your time. Good to speak to you. Jennie Bond, their former royal correspondent for the BBC. Let's get to your calls. Alice is waiting to speak to us from Greater Manchester. Alice, welcome to the show. Do you think that Andrew should face a police investigation?
Yes, good morning, Alexis. No, of course not. I mean, he's not been, charged with anything. I mean, what is wrong with people? It's this lynch mob mentality that we have. This guy is, let's face it, what he is a dirty old man. So let's go for Mick Jagger. Having sex with women who are, young enough to be his great-grandchild.
Alice, let's be careful about those allegations. Again, important to remember, Andrew denies all those allegations levelled at him by Virginia Giuffre. But are you saying that he has paid enough? I mean, I don't understand the point you're making. If he has committed a crime, surely the law should apply to him like it would apply to any of us sitting here on this table.
Sorry, I thought I made myself clear. He has not committed a crime.
How do you know? How do you know that?
How do you know that he has?
But that's what a police investigation would find out.
But the allegation is that she.
Sex.
No. The allegation is that she was
Alice, if you just give Ava a moment. Go on.
The allegation is that she was a trafficked woman, and so it would be illegal had he had relations with a trafficked woman. It's not necessarily her age that's the issue, because if he did have relations with her, where he did in that domain, it wouldn't be illegal. But if she's trafficked, that's really what it hinges on. So should he not be tried or at least taken to court over that?
But he didn't traffic her.
Can I just answer that? The fact of the matter is, the fact that she was a trafficked woman, do you really believe that he knew it at the time?
Well, I don't think that she just sort of ended up there because she was walking to the shops and then accidentally got onto Epstein's plane.
Don't be patronising. Please don't be patronising, OK? The fact is that it was in an island where there were all glamorous people there, and obviously he would have been part of that. How would he have known that she would have been trafficked?
Well, I'll put one line to you.
I'll be honest with you, the guy is repulsive.
I'll just put one line to you, Alice, which is that, so in Virginia Giuffre's posthumous book, she said that she thought she was going to die a sex slave at the hands of Epstein and his friends and the people who hung around him. You know, when you hear a line like that, do you not have a modicum of sympathy for her and for the other women?
I don't have any sympathy for someone who kept going back. This is my point. She was 17 years old. She wasn't imprisoned with chains. If she had been trafficked, it's a horrible thing. Of course, we know that. I'm a woman. I know. I can imagine what it must be like. But my point is this. I don't believe, even however repulsive Prince Andrew is, that he knew that this was happening behind the scenes.
OK. Thank you, Alice. I would think that that's what a police investigation would try and find out. But go on.
But it also tells you how it's going to be very difficult, all this sort of details. And that's why I think it'd be a waste of time. And it's just going to mean the monarch is going to have a real problem surviving this. OK, let's take another call. Amanda's in Cumbria. Amanda, welcome to the show. Sorry to keep you waiting. What would you like to say?
Well, I think that it should be a police investigation, but starting with a lie detector, and then from what results from there to go next, and then if it shows that he is lying and they find stuff, he should go to court and have a proper trial. I phoned up 3 times this week about Andrew, and this is the first time I've actually talked to you, but I've got a lot to say about him.
But you would support a police investigation?
Yeah.
Amanda. OK.
Yeah, but a lie detector should be the first thing.
All right. Amanda, thank you. I feel obliged to say I'm not quite sure about the lie detector bit, as someone who did a TV show about beating lie detectors and how unreliable they can be. But certainly an investigation, I think, is what you were saying, Amanda, that is necessary. Linda's in Norfolk. Linda, welcome to the show. Do you think he should face criminal charges?
No, I don't. And would everybody please leave him alone? I'm surprised he hasn't chopped himself, quite honestly.
Well,
He's the only one who is still here.
Yeah.
Is standing up for himself. I think it's absolutely disgusting what the royals are doing to him. He is their family.
Well, okay, but they're not ostracizing them, Linda. They're not ostracizing them from the family, but they're saying you can't be prince and you can't have your titles. I mean, the king hasn't quite kicked him out. He's going to be paying for his accommodation at the Sandringham estate.
He's not going to be invited for Christmas. I've been ousted from my family. I'm 78 on my own and I can't get out of my house. And my family don't talk to me. I don't see my grandsons at all. And I haven't done anything. Leave the man alone or he will commit suicide.
All right, Linda, thank you. Of course, no one would ever wish that it would come to that. Of course, Shelley's in Essex. Shelley, thanks for joining us. What do you think? Do you think he needs to face criminal charges?
Definitely.
Where do you think this would end, Shelley? Criminal charges, as Wilfred said, it's going to be a very difficult thing to go to court with. We have testimony from Virginia Giuffre and other people who have given evidence, but do you think you'd actually get a result if you went to trial?
If he is done fairly, I definitely think he will be found guilty, and then I think that at least 2/3 of his wealth should be donated to the sexual abuse places that help people after they've been abused.
Okay. Shelley, thank you. I mean, it's important to say that Andrew still denies all allegations. And in fact, in that interview that he gave to Emily Maitlis on Newsnight, he denied ever meeting Virginia Giuffre. Now, of course, a lot of people are asking why then was that settlement paid to someone that he says he never met. But again, all remains to be seen. I'm sure that this story doesn't end here, does it?
But I think this story is more than sexual abuse. I think it's about the abuse of power and privilege. Yeah. It's the ugly side of the privilege that I think he's guilty of. And that actually is taking us back to a bygone age where people felt because they were born into a certain position in life, they had all these advantages and privileges. That, for me, is what needs to be sorted out.
All right, look, we're going to move on. Later, we're going to be asking whether you have a duty to downsize when your children move out of your family home. But don't go anywhere, because after the break, we're going to be debating whether online GP booking forms should be scrapped. If you've used one, I'd like to hear from you.